was a nice eulogy, Dad. Mom would have been embarrassed, but it brought out her essence. I don't know, not to be harsh or anything, but that was a little unexpected. You generally don't gravitate toward flowery language. Straight and abrupt is more your style.
Thanks, I guess. Your mother always brought out my better parts, polished me, made me presentable to the world. I miss her.
Me too. Hmm. So, how about some music? What would Mom like to hear? No, no, actually, I know.
Ah, yes, Billie Holiday. Good choice.
Yeah, thought that might perk you up.
Hmm. Interesting choice.
Why?
Nothing, no, just good choice.
Really, Dad? I know what you're getting at.
No, let's not go down this path. It's just a good choice.
I know the story, Dad. And no, this is not some subliminal message from me. We can have music without driving home a meaning.
You skip past Miles and Bird and directly to Billie.
Yes.
Fine.
Pain makes good music.
Oh, not now, please.
Mom's gone. You will have to acknowledge the obvious at some point, right?
When did I ever not acknowledge it?
Seriously? Have you ever said the word louder than, I don't know, 3 decibels? You talk about it like grandma mentions cancer.
Have I not always been exceedingly nice to your friends whenever you bring them home?
Friends. Really? Yes, you have always been nice to my friends. So nice it seems like you're trying to sell them insurance. You're a little over the top and not particularly genuine.
Oh, I definitely miss your mother right now. Is this really the time for it
No,
now?
no, you're right. You're right.
Do you want something for dinner?
I'm not hungry, Dad. Wait a minute. Do you know how to cook? And I don't count trying rock hard burgers. I think that's pushing the boundaries of food. I think that's where my addiction to ketchup began.
Well, obviously I have a limited repertoire, so no, I guess.
Yeah, I did choose it for a reason.
What?
Billie Holiday.
Uh, Sorry, what?
Do you remember how I would know that?
Yeah, yes, I guess.
This was your response when I came out to you and Mom, remember?
Vaguely, yes.
Right to the record collection, bypassing Coltrane and Brubeck, and straight to Billie. You know, Billie Holiday was bisexual, and that was the 40s and 50s, and she was amazing. Were you expecting my revelation to springboard me into music immortality, to somehow smooth over the obvious discomfort with you? Thank God you weren't a blues fan. That wouldn't have certainly ended well.
I don't know. I was searching for a way to make a connection, I guess.
And what was the point that you were trying to make? I mean, really, if you were drawing a parallel, well done. She drank herself to death at 44. She was misunderstood, grossly underappreciated too. Well, I have about 20 years to go. Let's crack open the Crown Royale and get going. I'm way behind in punishing my liver.
Oh, for God's sake, you know what I was getting at? You're doing this, you're just doing this to punish me, aren't you?
I'm not trying to punish you, Dad, but you can see how fucked up your response was.
Easy on the language. I'm sorry, yes, I reacted poorly back then, but I was grasping to find something to, I don't know, reach out with. It was from the heart. I mean, had I thought it through, maybe, I don't know.
Oh, For one thing, she was bi, and I'm not even close to that. And times were a tad different, don't you think?
Yes, I get it. I told you I get it. It's on the long list of things I screwed up. Please stop throwing it in my face. I'm from a different generation, but I'm changing. I was trying to build a bridge.
Oh, well, thank you for accepting me for who I am. It's so gracious of you.
It isn't easy for either of us. Yes, I get it.
No, you don't. This isn't equal. Not for me. There's no choices for me. You? Yes. Me? No. You aren't doing me any favors by accepting me for who I am.
That's not what I'm your father, and I do not need to be lectured to by some
Oh
young.
gosh, you're so frustrating. Grandpa hasn't struggled with this. Not a moment's hesitation. He just walked across the floor and hugged the living life out of me. And he was born during the Depression. Just because you didn't have a complete meltdown and cast me out of the house doesn't mean you're candidate for Parent of the Year.
Oh, trust me, I'm perfectly aware that I'm not lined up for any awards. And he's your mother's father, not mine. He's somewhere between Jack Layton and Tommy Douglas, for God's sake. I think he put those damn NDP signs up on my lawn just
That's a
to
bad
irritate me.
thing.
It wasn't how I was raised.
At some point, he and Grandma evolved. You know, they developed empathy. That should be something to be celebrated, not disdained or used as an excuse, don't you think?
Well, my father,
Was a bigot.
careful.
Really careful. Grandpa Howard is a commie, but we need to tread lightly on the Cameron clan, and that's clan with a K, in case you were wondering. How many Brown or Pollock jokes did we have to endure during those interminable family get-togethers?
He was old, set in his ways.
He was a bigot.
He was your grandfather.
Exactly. You know, family isn't a choice. I get it. It's a life sentence. He was a bigot and he was enabled because nobody wanted to challenge hair fear. God help any of us if we spoke out of turn.
Enough.
I didn't choose him to be my grandfather. Like, I didn't choose to be gay. Those dinners were torture because he just loved to go on about his fag boss, who obviously didn't appreciate him and blame that on his lack of upward mobility. It certainly couldn't have been the fact that he was a narrow-minded ass who never took responsibility for his own actions and needed a scapegoat, some group for his own failures.
He was my father, and he worked his ass off to provide for us. We lived through some pretty tough times, and they weren't all self inflicted. Never once did he give up. Never once did he go on the dole or ask anybody for help. So show him some respect.
Really? That's your response?
Look, I know it doesn't excuse his archaic beliefs, but he was the one who loaned me 50 grand, no questions asked, when I was laid off and had to start over again. And he was also the man who spent 12 hours a day for 6 months by my mother's bed as she slowly wasted away from cancer. I know he wasn't a saint, but he wasn't a demon either.
That doesn't make it right.
No, it doesn't, but this isn't a black and white world either. We're all a little stained with our own faults. You have a wonderful ability to cast judgment from your little ivory tower.
Ivory Tower?
Yes, you're constantly up on that soapbox of yours, detailing the woes of the world. Defund the police. Corruptions are corrupt. The misogynistic over 40-year-old white male demographic, or really just anybody that doesn't see the world the same way.
Yes, let's defend the rich and the corporation.
Oh, no. That's too easy, too broad. Who are the rich? Oh, here we go. Who put you through school? It cost me, of course, close to $80,000 to put you through. And oh, guess what? I'm a 55-year-old white male. Does that make me rich? Does that make me evil? So tell me, where's the cutoff? What are you comfortable with?
I think we're getting off track here.
No, actually, we're not. My point is, it's way too easy to criticize and considerably more difficult to understand.
So I'm supposed to suck it up and forgive everyone?
I didn't say forgive, I said understand. However, if you could forgive, that might allow you to take a little of the edge off some of that anger.
It's not about forgiving. It's about respect. Don't expect me to respect Grandpa. That's not going to happen.
Sadly, he died before you came out.
And you think that would have made a difference?
I don't know. Maybe it would have changed him. I really don't know. I do know he loved you. He always supported you, constantly asked about you. I mean, he was so proud of you.
I don't know. Maybe. What about you?
What about me?
What about you? Grandpa wasn't the only roadblock here. You may not have been as vocal as him, but you haven't been 100% supportive either.
I've tried. Well, when you've had it pushed through your head since you're a youngster that it's a sin that
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
language.
That's not an excuse. You go to church how many times? 3 times? Let's not even go down the road of self-righteous interpretation of a book that was written, I don't know, centuries after the fact to support a dying empire.
I do not need a history lesson.
Well, how about a lesson in compassion?
You make it sound like I ran you out of the house.
No, but you were consciously uncomfortable around me. And in many ways, that's far worse. At least if you made it clear where you stood, maybe there would be room to talk, or at least some room for honesty. But this tiptoeing around my friends and even avoiding the question, are you seeing anyone, Goddess? More to the point, this just breaks my heart.
I'm not uncomfortable. I just don't understand.
What is there to understand?
Why?
Why and what?
Just why? Why you?
Does it matter why? This is it. I think we're all past the nature nurture debate.
Sometimes I think you enjoy throwing this all in my face, don't you?
Throwing what?
Nothing.
Start it now. You might as well finish it.
You hold your lifestyle. Damn, I don't know what word, not lifestyle.
Who I am.
If only you had played Miles, we could have avoided this.
Avoiding this is how we got here.
Be honest with me. You enjoy this, don't you? Being the radical, rattling your saber.
Rattling my saber? That's a little cliche. Maybe I do like to stir shit up now and then, and why not? It's not easy being constantly reminded that I don't fit into society. And I definitely don't fit into your idea of a daughter. Do I embarrass you? Do your friends talk about me?
See, that's where you don't get me.
Okay, enlighten me.
There were only 2 people in my life that I have loved unconditionally, and now there's only one. And to be honest, the people I hang around with are a little bit more enlightened than me. Am I embarrassed of you? Seriously? You are the highlight of my life. I brag about you all the time.
And you still brag about me after learning about my lifestyle?
We knew for a long time.
Bullshit.
No. It was a sense we picked up over time. Your mother and I talked about it a lot. Little things. Questions you asked in elementary school. Hey, it's hard to pin it down. Oh, and of course, there was the time at the cottage.
Oh. Well, I thought